You can have all the money in the world and the most perfect tactical blueprint on paper, Habs Nation, but if your organization's culture is notorious for shredding the mental health of its players, the best talent on the market will take less pay just to avoid signing with you. In professional hockey, the passion of the Canadian fan base is a double-edged sword, and right now, it's slashing the throat of the Montreal Canadiens front office. General Manager Kent Hughes thought he'd found the dream reinforcement to close out the trade market, a player with 56 points this season, 35 years of battle-tested experience, and an off-the-charts hockey IQ to fix our lines, Ryan O'Reilly of the Nashville Predators. But the bombshell that journalist Nick Kypreos just dropped on Montreal is a public rejection letter. O'Reilly has reportedly told his bosses he'd rather hang up his skates than deal with the media and pressure of the Bell Center. Today, we're going to dissect the anatomy of this public snub. We'll explore why the trauma of Toronto has made O'Reilly swear off Canada forever, how the swift justice of hockey has rubbed the toxicity of our media in the face of our front office, and what it means to watch the perfect target get sold to another team while we're sidelined for being too intense. But before I lay out the behind-the-scenes transcripts on your screen, I'm handing you the analysis clipboard. You decide who's in the right in this Cold War. Do you think Ryan O'Reilly is a coward who lacks the mental fortitude to handle the weight of playing in the hockey capital of the world? Or do you side with him, believing the Canadian media is so ruthless that it actively sabotages the Canadiens' ability to attract superstar free agents? Think with ice in your veins, because the spotlight burns the skin of those who can't shine under it. Let's take a hard look at the moral crime scene. We desperately need an elite center. Ryan O'Reilly is playing for a Nashville Predators team that's open to making deals. The golden detail. Under his current contract, O'Reilly doesn't have a no-trade clause. Officially, Nashville could ship him to Montreal this afternoon, and he'd be contractually obligated to pack his bags. But hockey operates on a gentleman's code. O'Reilly is a veteran, a respected leader, and Nashville has signaled they'll work with him to find a friendly destination. And the player's request was blunt and direct. Send me to a quiet market. This is where the swift justice of the sport levies attacks on our own fan base. Back in 2023, O'Reilly played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He experienced what it's like to be dissected alive by the media for every errant pass in the second period. He despised the experience and bolted from Canada at the first chance. The karma of the toxic hockey ecosystem in Canadian markets is that reputation travels faster than a paycheck. The ultimate punishment for the Montreal Canadiens is market impotence. We have the prospects to pay Nashville. We have the cap space and an urgent need for the player. But the deal has been torpedoed by a moral veto. The player put his foot down. Swift justice delivers a harsh truth. What good is being the most sacred stage in hockey if the true artists are terrified to step onto your ice? Our tactical arrogance has scared off an elite target. Let's unpack why O'Reilly would be such a perfect fit. If only he'd say yes. At 35, he's still producing at an elite level with 56 points this season. He's a face-off wizard, a two-way force who can anchor a second line, kill penalties, and stabilize the power play. He's the kind of center who could take the defensive burden off Nick Suzuki, allowing our captain to focus on creating offense. Pair him with wingers like Cole Caulfield or Uri Slavkovsky, and you've got a line that can both grind down opponents and bury chances. More than that, O'Reilly brings a Stanley Cup pedigree, Conn Smythe winner in 2019 with St. Louis, and the kind of veteran presence that could mentor young talents like Ivan Demidov through the pressure of an NHL debut. But none of that matters if the man himself won't even entertain the idea of playing here. His rejection isn't just a personal slight. It's a damning indictment of the environment surrounding the Canadiens. The Bell Center isn't just a rink. It's a pressure cooker. The media isn't just critical. It's relentless. Every loss is a crisis. Every mistake a scandal. O'Reilly's time in Toronto, another Canadian market with suffocating scrutiny, left scars. He's made it clear he wants a quieter life, a place where a bad game doesn't turn into a week-long public trial. And Montreal, for all its history and passion, is the opposite of quiet. This is the brutal reality Hughes faces. Nashville is willing to deal. O'Reilly's $4.5 million cap hit through 2027 is manageable, even a bargain for a production. We could likely land him for a reasonable package, say a second-round pick and a mid-tier prospect. giving the Predators position outside the playoff picture. But none of that matters if the player refuses to report. Forcing a trade against his wishes isn't just bad optics. It's a recipe for a disgruntled locker room presence who could poison the culture we're trying to build. And here's where the swift justice cuts deepest. Our fan base and media, the very things that make Montreal the spiritual heart of hockey, are also our Achilles heel. The same intensity that fuels players on game night can burn them out off the ice. We've seen it before. Stars who could have been cornerstones shy away because they know what awaits them here. O'Reilly's rejection isn't just personal. It's systemic. It's a warning that if the culture around the team doesn't evolve, we'll keep losing out on the elite talent we need to return to glory. What stings even more is knowing O'Reilly will likely be traded elsewhere. Nashville respect his wishes enough to find a quiet market. Think a team like Arizona, Carolina, or Colorado, places where the media glare is dimmer and the pressure less suffocating. We'll watch him anchor another team's middle six, win key face-offs in the playoffs, and wonder what could have been if only Montreal weren't Montreal. This isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a mirror held up to our franchise. Do we want to be the place where only the thickest skin survive, or do we want to adapt to create an environment where talent feels supported, not scrutinized to death? Because right now, the latter feels like a pipe dream. So I'm locking the negotiation table and tossing this thorny issue right into your hands. You weigh in on Nashville's approach. Given that O'Reilly has no contractual veto power on paper, do you think the Predators should ignore his softness and ship him to whoever pays the most? In this case, Montreal, maximizing their return? Or do you respect the franchise's stance of prioritizing their veterans' mental health, even if it means taking a lesser deal from a quieter market? Lay it all out in the comments. Don't hold back. Argue your side with conviction. Montreal isn't a place for players who fear accountability, but it's also not a place that can afford to keep scaring off the stars it needs. And don't you dare blink while we're picking up the pieces of our wounded pride. An absurd multi-million-dollar crisis just erupted in the Eastern Division of the NFL overnight. The general manager of the Dallas Cowboys has dropped a radioactive ultimatum on the negotiation table to offload their top defensive star. The identity of this beast who's on the chopping block? I'll blow that wide open in the next video. Stay locked in.